chairpersons, co-chairpersons, and all the delegates. I am Asish Biswas, research scholar from this university. We know that karate is popularized in day to day as a sports or as a self-defense technique, or you may be say that self-defense activity, or you may be say that self-defense skills to learn, especially for the women. I am doing my PhD study on this area, and today I am presenting a small part of my study, as you can say a proportion of my pilot study, which is entitled as Study on Leadership Preferences of Karate Trained Women. These are the small parts of my slides. So at first we discuss about the leadership. We know that leadership is a social process, and from our childhood, leadership continues as a classroom monitor, or as a sports team captain, or as a group leader, or maybe as a group member also. So according to the psychologist, what they say that to be a good leader, you must first be a good follower. That means you have to prefer some type of leadership that may be democratic or that may be autocratic. It depends on some factors such as like age, maturity, gender, educational level, democratic area, environment, etc. Besides this, despite a significant progress, women continue to face discrimination and violence. Therefore, average women have increased investment and opportunities to benefit from the self-defense technique, especially for the present day karate. So the researcher reviews some related literature. From there, find out that martial art training, especially karate and taekwondo, improves leadership skills. So finally, the researcher aimed to determine the karate trained women's preference for authoritarian or democratic styles. So the purpose of the study was to explore the leadership preferences among karate trained women based on age and length of training. So now come to the methods and materials. All the subjects are karate trained subjects, karate trained students, and total number of subjects 58. Where the 40 were adolescent girls and 18 were adult women, and their age range between 12 to 23, all at the school and college level students. And the researcher covered the area only the 3 districts, and the sampling process is simple random sampling. Now come to the criterion measure. The researcher firstly measured the personal data as the other study, and also the training age. And beside this, the researcher measured the leadership preferences as a psychological variable. Through the leadership preferences scale, the author is L.I. Bhushan, 2011. These are the some discussed about the leadership preference scale. And for the present study, the mean HD, percentile, and ANOVA was used the particular study. Now come to the result and discussion. The first, the personal data of the subjects represent for the both groups that accurately represent their respective groups. That means the adolescent girls and also the adult women. The next is the researcher divided some training according to the training age groups on depends on their training duration. And there is below 1, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, and also the 7 to 10. And overall, the researcher observed that there are mostly participants are adolescent girls, not the women. And also many cases, the researcher observed that many participants joined as the practice in adulthood time. It may be sometimes we are interested in after 18 years when we are adulthood, or maybe as friends. And the main part is the percentage of leadership preferences for karate trained subjects. From the table and also the graph, it represents that most participants fall into the moderate level to high democratic level in the leadership preferences category. But The higher percentage of the both group represent that they preferred moderate level. That also we see from the graphical representation, the green part. And the next part is the range of individual leadership preferences according to their score. The graphical representation represents the range, where we can see also the both groups of subjects fall in the above average autocratic to high democratic level. And in addition, the researcher added some descriptive statistics and mean differences. Just see that there is any differences according to their training age groups. The researcher answer is no significant differences found because it may be due to very small size of sample. We can see that only 18 adult subjects are researcher used. It may be caused due to this particular reason, but one thing observed that there are a linear increase in leadership preferences mean scores for both groups. So karate practitioners prefer a more democratic style as their training period increases. And finally the conclusion were drawn. Most karate participants were the adolescent girls, not the women. Most participants fall in moderate level to high democratic level. But a higher percentage of participants in both groups prefer only the moderate level. The leadership scores for both groups range from the above average autocratic to high democratic level. But there is no significant differences for this particular study in leadership preferences. But also according to the mean score, karate practitioners in both groups become more democratic as their training period increased. So overall the study, here is the researcher opinions. We know that democratic leadership style is highly effective due to emphasis on participation, teamwork, collaboration, open communication, equal consideration for all the opinions. That also leading to increased satisfaction. Besides this, we know that in the present day, one of the most important leadership style, that is situational leadership style, is the most popular because that considering no single style is universally effective. So in the point of view, the researcher find out that most participants indicated that democratic acceptance with a higher percentage indicated moderate acceptance. So the study suggests that along with increasing self-defense skills, karate training impacts personal development by increasing positive skills such as democratic acceptance and also situational adaptation that are also beneficial for the socialization, especially for the women. So these are the references, and lastly a small message from the view of researcher. Thank you everyone.
Okay, thank you Asish for your presentation. Now we can take one or two questions.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay,
Go to your title page.
Yeah.
Study on leadership preferences of karate trained women.
Yeah.
So, how are you relate with leadership as a preference as a democratic? No, you just use this word leadership. How do you simplify or emphasize this particular meaning of democratic? First question. Secondly, you haven't mentioned the proper dimensional components of true leader in your page. Second question. These two questions from me.
Okay. So at first I want to say that this is already I said that it is a part of my PhD study. I am not presenting here the whole study, whole introduction part or the whole methodology or the whole statistical conclusion. I just presented here only a small proportion from my study. Okay. And that's why I excluded what are the main parts of the leadership styles or why we accepting the democratic style. I escaped all and also I included not included in my presentation, but I included in my study. And you can see the last part of my study that they are also mentioned why we are accepting, and also I am finding in some study that mostly accepted or mostly preferences or most participants prefer the democratic style, and the reason is also there. Yeah. No. Actually, this is my slide,
Hello.
and this is very short time. That's why I am not. Yes, sir.
You just discussed after this presentation session. So here one thing it is noticed
Yes, sir.
that the sampling has to be ascertained that it is following the normal distribution. And another thing is that whenever the sampling is okay, then the statistical conclusions are okay. Otherwise, if the first condition is not fulfilling the statistical norms, then we cannot come to the conclusion that over a period of time or due to training age of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, there might have mean difference, but statistically it is not a significant difference. That's why it is not a difference at all. So that's why we cannot come to any kind of such kind of conclusion. And why we are unable to come into that conclusion? Because it is of sampling error. So then we cannot go further any step on the basis of this particular findings. Okay?
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Next presenter.